Hello, my art friends. Welcome to Brushstrokes with Mrs. Broderick. I hope you're ready to make some art together. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be making some videos for you so we can continue to explore different materials and techniques, even though we aren't together. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on a warm and cool painting. What you'll need for this project is crayons and watercolors. If you don't have those materials available to you, that's okay. Use what you have at home because it's going to be beautiful no matter what materials. Take a quick look at the materials you're going to need for this project and then we'll get started. All right, here we go. Are you ready? All right, we're going to start off by using our black crayon. And what I want you to do is make a dark black line that has a little swoop to it that goes from one side of the page to the other. So I'm going to do mine really quickly kind of to start, and then I'm just going to very carefully go over it again to make that line a little bit darker. Okay? Once you have that line, we're going to start making some leaves. Now I'm going to make my leaves look like this, but you can make them look however you want to look. So we're going to fill up our vine with different sizes. You could do different shaped leaves. It's up to you. You're the artist, so you have artistic freedom here. Maybe I'll make a really big one right here. And some teeny tiny ones. All right. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to add some detail into my leaves to create kind of spaces for the paints to go. So I'm just going to do some straight lines that go in here. It kind of looks like the vein of the leaf. And when I'm doing this, I'm pushing down pretty hard with my crayon so that, whoopsie, and it's okay if you break your crayons because broken crayons still color. So push down hard so you get that nice, rich, dark color. Okay? So once you have something that looks similar to this, what you're going to do is we're going to start using our watercolors and we're going to start painting. Now with our leaves, we're going to use just cool colors. So the cool colors are, yes, greens, blues, and purples. Now I always try to remember this because those colors remind me of winter, and winter is usually cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all different shades of color, different greens, different blues, different purples. And how I'm going to achieve that is not only by the color of the paint, but also by the amount of water that I use. So if I use less water, I'm going to get a lighter color, right? If I use, okay, so see how I'm using just a little bit of water here and I'm getting a nice, beautiful dark color. What I can do is if that color feels a little too dark, I can just take my brush with water and thin it out a little bit. See how it starts to make a different shade of that color? All right, so I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna do different parts of my leaves with this color. Now you'll see that the paints kind of just float right over the crayon because the crayon has wax in it. So the paints don't love the wax, which is great because we'll be able to see those dark lines that you did. All right, now I'm going to use some different colors. I'm going to go in and use maybe a darker blue. And what you can do is you can actually go in over the tops of them and you'll see that the colors start to expand a little bit, which is pretty cool. Now your leaves don't have to be realistic. If you want to make your leaves all blue, you can. If you want to make them purple, go for it. Whatever you think is going to look great is what you should do because this is your painting. So you can see when I kind of overlap the colors, they start to spread out a little bit. They start to expand, which is pretty cool. All right, now I'm going to use a little bit of green. So I want my leaves to be really kind of crazy and colorful. So that's why I'm using lots of colors. And I'm just kind of going in and putting color where there's white and seeing what happens. Maybe I'll do a little bit of purple on this last leaf. All right. So I like the way that my leaves look. So I'm going to say I'm done with the cool painting part of this project. All right, let's check in with my assistant to see how her painting is going. Memes, that's beautiful work. Nice job. All right, so the next step is we're gonna work on our background, and we're gonna be using warm colors for our background. So our warm colors are reds, yellows, and oranges. And just like the way I remember cool colors, warm colors remind me of summertime, which is usually hot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start to go in and paint the way that I did with my leaves. I'm just gonna go in and paint around them. You wanna be careful when you're painting around because you don't wanna pull any of the leaf color into the warm color. One thing you may wanna even do is just wait for your leaves to dry, and then you can go back in with your warm colors and paint it. Oops, see what I did there? No big deal. All right. So I'm using lots of different colors. And remember when I'm painting, I like to have my brush go kind of all in the same direction. So I get beautiful brush strokes. Okay. If you're working on this painting when you're wet, try not to do that, but it's okay, mistakes happen. And that's how we learn. So I'm gonna use different shades of orange here. You could use a bigger brush for this if you have one available to you. That way it doesn't take you as long to do the background. But what I want you to do is really play around with these colors. Experiment a little bit. You don't have to do just one painting. You could do 2 paintings. You could do 5 paintings. You could do 10 paintings. All just showing that you are playing around with color and seeing what happens when you do that. That's how we become better artists, is by exploring our materials. How about a little yellow in here? Ooh, lovely. Now I'm just doing my background the way that I did my leaves. Kind of crazy, just kind of going all over the place. If you want to do a pattern, you could do that. You could do stripes, you could do polka dots. It's up to you. Like I said before, this is your painting. So I want it to look how you want it to look. I can't wait to see what all of these will look like, because I have a feeling they're all going to look totally different, which is the best part of art, because everybody sees things a little bit differently. And I hope I don't see any that look exactly like mine. Okay, let's do some red. Ooh. Oops. This part where I made that mistake kind of looks like an extension of the leaf, which is actually pretty cool. And maybe if you do make a mistake like that and your colors blend together, you're gonna like what happens. You're gonna like the effect you get, and then you're gonna try to do it on purpose next time. That can certainly happen. So I've got just a few spots left here that I'm gonna fill in, and I'm gonna use kind of a pinkish color in the rest of it. And you'll notice that because you're using warm and cool colors, the blue colors, the cool colors that you used, kind of pop off the page, right? Because you're using the warm colors as a background. I like the way I just did that, where I blended the purple in with that orange. It made a different shade. That was kind of nice. All right. So I kind of like the way this is looking. I like that some of the colors are blending out into the background, even though I didn't mean to do that. I like that I have lots of different shades of color going on. What I might even do is go in, maybe do some spots on top of the colors, just to add a little bit more to it. Maybe do some yellows on top of the purple, purpley pink color. Okay, so I am happy with the way that this came out. So I'm gonna say that I am done with the painting part of this project. All right, let's check in with my assistant to see how her painting is going. Mimi, that's an excellent finished painting. Mimi gives your paintings 2 paws up. All right, friends, I think you did a great job today. I hope you enjoyed that. For our next video, what you'll need for supplies are crayons, watercolors, and paper. We're going to be doing a project that involves lots of shapes and lots of colors. I can't wait for our next video together. Bye!